Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack. Today, another exciting early look at not one, not two, but three upcoming releases from the latest Pharrell and Hu NMD collaboration with Adidas. Let's check them out. Alright, so first things first, just a massive shout out to the guys at Palazzo Pitti up in Johannesburg for hooking us up with this early look at the upcoming release set for this Saturday, the 5th of October at their Nelson Mandela Square branch in Sandton City, but more details on that as the review goes on. So this collaboration is something I think has just been waiting to happen for so long now. Hu NMD, the brainchild from Nigo, one of Pharrell's best friends, I guess. They literally do so many different projects together, like Curry Up and a whole bunch of other stuff. Every time you see Nigo, there's Pharrell somewhere in the picture. And, you know, for me, the collaboration from Adidas side and Hu NMD's Nigo side is just like the perfect mix. So right here we have all three shoes to look at today. I'm going to go through each one of them individually, show you up close the details on it, and then show you a combined on-foot look later on in the review. Also giving you prices, where to cop them, at what time, etc, etc. So on to the review. For those of you who don't know who Nigo is, he's one of the most iconic and lauded fashion designers out of Japan. He was the original creator of Bape. I'm sure all of you know who that is. He no longer owns that brand, but started Hu NMD as his own brand after selling that to Hong Kong's IT a couple of years back. But for me, Hu NMD is an incredibly exciting brand. As you can see, I've got the t-shirt here. I've got a couple of t-shirts. I got shorts, I got socks, I got everything from there, and was lucky enough to go to their store in Japan, in Tokyo at least. If you guys want to see that little vlog that I did on my shopping experience in Japan, you can check everything I bought right here. I'll put the link in the description to that vlog if you haven't seen it already. But back onto the review itself, as mentioned, three different shoes as part of this pack releasing on Saturday. I'm going to start with the Tennis HU over here. This is basically the entry-level shoe from Adidas and Pharrell because it comes at the most affordable price point at 1,999 Rand. It kind of gives consumers an opportunity to get into this Pharrell line without having to spend too much money like you would have to pay for the Solar HUs or more notably the NMD, which we'll get to in a bit. So the shoe itself in this particular iteration, starting in the outsole, you've got the standard diamond tooling that we've seen on tennis shoes, and then you've got two of the impact points that are done in a red rubber. The top one does have the Adidas Originals logo and the Pharrell Adidas collaboration logo as well. That pattern moves up into the midsole. The midsole on this particular pair is a cream color, almost an off-white, which is different to the rest of the shoes. If you guys have already looked at them over there, you'll notice that it's basically white boost and then white uppers. This has gone with a more off-white and cream color. Something I'm not really sure if I'm too sold on. I think it would have been maybe a bit cleaner with the plain white midsole. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But moving to the upper, you've got a full prime knit upper here, and then obviously the biggest design detail across this entire collaboration is the use of the Hu NMD heart, which has been embroidered in red. From a lacing perspective, these do come standard with red rope laces with 3M touch points throughout. They also provide you with the same color as that midsole, this cream pair with hints of 3M throughout that as well. And just grabbing the other shoe to show you the two logos on the heel section of the shoe. This is basically a synthetic material overlay, almost a neoprene on the heel section. You do have the Storm Cowboy icon logo from Hu NMD's side, and then the Pharrell Adidas logo on the shoe. And lastly, just some Adidas branding on the shoe. You do have three stripes on the shoe, although it's quite hard to see because it's just literal stitches in little spots that basically form the three stripes. However, you do in the tongue section have an Adidas logo that's been debossed into that fabric. One last thing I do want to show you, and I can't get the insole out, but you do have the classic almost reflexology graphic that's done on the insole. That's something we've seen across the NMDs and the tennis shoes, as these were the two pairs that we're always releasing, at least coinciding with each other. Every single drop, there's always been this affordable entry point on the tennis shoe and the NMD. Now, obviously, they've included the Solars, which we'll get to next, but it's nice to see that still follow through on this particular shoe. Now, from a price point, as I think I might have mentioned, these will be available for 1,999 Rand. Definitely the cheapest of the three that will be dropping on Saturday. And then from a sizing perspective, I would recommend you going true to size. They are quite a flat shoe. They're definitely not my favorite silhouette, but I have seen a hell of a lot of people wearing these on the streets, and they look a hell of a lot better than they do on my feet. Now moving on to probably my favorite shoe from the pack, and this is the newest silhouette to join the Pharrell lineup. the Solar HU. So this is a more performance orientated runner. There's a hell of a lot more tech that's going on in this particular shoe than obviously you would get on the Tennis HU. It's definitely more performance orientated than lifestyle orientated. But starting underneath with the outsole, they've kept this completely black with continental rubber. You do have a complete white-out torsion system in here as well. And then flipping to the midsole of the shoe, the majority of this is comprised of boost. However, you do have these EVA inserts adding stability to the forefoot and midfoot of the shoe. Swinging around to the heel section, they have included a TPU heel counter over here, and that is obviously on both sides of the heel. That obviously just providing more support for your foot. And then taking a look at the material mix up in the upper, this is a mix of breathable mesh here in the forefoot, and then there's textured primer throughout the rest of the shoe. And then just to show you the laces, these do come standard laced with white rope laces, 3M accents on them. However, as you guessed, they come with a red set as well, also with 3Ms. The lacing system in place here on the Solar HU is quite unique to this particular shoe. It's quite padded and it gives it quite a bit of depth there in that section. And underneath there, just to round it off, you do have this hit of 3M paneling. Rounding off the detailing on the shoe, you do have Adidas logos on both shoes. Here in the tongue section, those are the performance logos, obviously, as this is a performance orientated shoe. And then you've got the HU logo here done in the heel section, just on the collar. Taking a look at the insole, this is one thing that I thought that they could definitely have done better to keep it within this Pharrell collaboration range. This is just a standard Solar HU insole here, done in a plain black with the updated Boost logo on it. For me, I would have liked to see that reflexology graphic come through in this particular instance, just kind of cementing that into this collaboration line with Pharrell. Another thing, while I'm just talking about that, is the boxes. The Tennis HU and NMD do come in the standard Pharrell collaboration Adidas box. However, the Solar HU on this particular pair just comes in a straight black Adidas performance box, which is also something that I feel like they could have put these in a Pharrell box. You know, just keep it all the same. Now, from a pricing point of view, these should retail for 2,599 Rand. And from a sizing perspective, I would recommend going either true to size or a half size up if you do have quite a tight foot. The upper construction of here is very sock-like, so it can be quite tight on the top of your foot if you have a thick foot. That's it for me. I have always gone true to size in the Solar HUs because we don't generally get half sizes here in South Africa, and they do definitely stretch out a little bit in terms of that sock-like construction. Last but not least, the NMD. Now, this is probably the shoe that's going to be the most hyped out of the three, at least for people going for them first and foremost. This obviously follows the same design theory as we've seen in the past two shoes, and that's keeping the upper completely white. In this instance, it's a full prime-knit upper, and then the inclusion of the red heart embroidered logo from Human Made, bringing in the collaboration detail. And just to show you underneath the shoe, this is the ATR version of the Pharrell Hu NMD. We have obviously seen two versions in the past. You guys will know from the OG that it used to be completely flat, but then I think that kind of presented a couple of durability problems and maybe some traction issues as well. So then they stepped it up to the trail outsole, and this was pretty good in terms of its traction, but it was really heavy on foot. As you can see, there's a hell of a lot of rubber going on over there. So the ATR is kind of a perfect hybrid here because you've got the traction, but you don't have these slats of heavy rubber, so keeping the weight down on that as well. So I think it's kind of become one of my favorites for Hu NMDs, of course. Other than that, the shoes come pre-laced with red rope laces with 3M hints, and as you might have guessed, white laces as well. Just to show you the heel section of the shoe, those same two logos that we saw on the Tennis HU, the Storm Cowboy from Human Made and Pharrell's Adidas logo there, are represented in the heels. Other than that, as you guys probably know, a full-length Boost midsole here with the EVA plugs forming the lacing system of the cage. And last but not least, the insole, which is glued onto the Boost midsole itself, has got that reflexology graphic print on it throughout. From a pricing perspective, these will be the most expensive out of the three that we'll be releasing on Saturday. These will come in around 3,999 Rand. From a sizing perspective, I've always gone true to size with Pharrell Hu NMDs, and that is exactly the same with this. There's no real structural changes to it. It's pretty much standard sizing for NMDs. All right, so the only thing to do right now is to show you what all of these look like on foot. So let's check it out. Alright guys, so as you can see, they all look pretty fresh on foot. Great colorways for summer coming up if you live in the southern hemisphere like I do here in Cape Town, South Africa. From a release point of view, these will release at Palazzo Pitti up in Johannesburg on a first come first served basis at 9 o'clock on Saturday the 5th of October at their Nelson Mandela Square branch in Sandton City. But that's it from me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this exclusive early access look at the Pharrell human-made collaboration range right here on Sneaker Stories. If you did find this helpful, informative, or just nice to look at, please hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe right here for more reviews, early looks, and vlog content down the line. But that's it from me. I'll catch you on the next one.